Hi, everyone. First of all, we want to thank you for being here and for having interest in such a subject. It's hard to talk about it, and we even feel a little bit like embarrassed that we are not there, not helping our people, but we understand that everyone is helpful where they are, and because we are based here in the United States and represent the creative community of Ukraine, we believe that we also can make a change and bring the real information about what's going on to everyone and to engage even emotionally. It's a hard subject to talk about, to look at these images. Even going on Instagram, we can see that a lot of the photographs and videos are hidden, and Instagram is protecting people from seeing that. But imagine how it is to be right there. And this should be stopped, and we believe that power of voices of people, especially here in the United States, should be heard, and every voice is powerful and should be used. And that's a little introduction from ourselves, and we have a lot to show and tell you. Thank you so much. So Ukraine for Peace, supporting the creators and innovators. Who we are and why we can speak about it at all. Myself is Natalia Madanova, Ukrainian. I started as a journalist, and then I turned into work into fashion industry, and now few years ago, established company in the United States. It's called DressX, and developing digital fashion and tech company here, along with my co-founder Daria.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Natalia, for such an introduction. So basically, I am also Ukrainian. I was never born in Ukraine. I was born in Soviet Union, as so many people of our generation. But all of my life, I lived in Kiev, Ukraine. Kiev is the capital of Ukraine. And it's horrible for us to see what is happening in our country. And of course, our mission is to do everything what we can from here to support all of those creatives, people who left there, and all the people of Ukraine who are suffering. So basically, my background was always in the creative sphere, and I started as a TV host in Ukraine, teaching people on fashion, and I had a TV show, and then co-founded the Fashion Week in Ukraine that became the largest one in Eastern Europe, and actually it brought so many creative talents and so many international people to Kiev. And actually I see that all of those people who came to Ukraine by our invitation along these years, they're actually actively posting right now about the things that happen in Ukraine. And that gives me an understanding that it's always important to be proud of your country, and that's exactly what we did all these years. And that's why Ukraine is so successfully defending its freedom. And basically, yes, we co-founded together with Natalia a platform, DressX, that became the biggest retailer of digital-only clothing. So it's a fashion tech company. It's very innovative. And we have over 100 designers on our platform, and 20 of them are from Ukraine, for example. So as soon as the war began, we sent them some support, and we will continue to support them. And basically, we'll tell more about it. But we have our friend here who is not in fashion, but she is super creative. So Asa, you're next.
Thank you, Dasha. Thank you all. Thank you, South by Southwest, for having us. I'm actually a film director, yes, and my name is Asya, and I'm supposed to meet this festival in absolutely other occasion when I will bring my movie and my crew, and we will watch it all together and celebrate. Unfortunately, it's absolutely other situation right now, so we're here to speak up, to say true about what is happening right now in my country, in our country, in our cities. It's very weird situation right now for all of us because we live in two dimensions. One dimension is here, where we're healthy and beautiful, I hope, and we talk and we joke and we listen to other people and we're alive. At the same very moment, in my own hometown, Kharkov, it's the second largest city in Ukraine, people are dying, people are hiding right now in bomb shelters. They're spending there already 21 days, so it's exactly 3 weeks from the moment when the war, like real war, started. And all our minds and souls and passion and compassion is with our relatives and friends who didn't leave, who are there, who are trying to defend, who are trying to survive. So it's the weirdest scenario ever. I think that lots of you watched Black Mirror or maybe and Squid Game. So what is happening right now in our gadgets? We are watching Squid Games with our loved and dearest one people in a dimension of Black Mirror, because it's still hard to believe and understand that, yes, it's true, it's a war in 21st century. But we're doing what we can do. We're speaking up, we're building communities, we're helping our people, we're bringing some information for you. And thank you for your support. If you can share all that, it would be great. Already it's a tiny piece in this huge world of love, compassion, and empathy. Yep, thank you.
Thank you. And thank you. We have Eugene with us. He is a renowned 3D designer and he's connecting from Ukraine. He is there right now and he will introduce himself, tell his story, and we'll go to the next things. But Eugene, please.
Hi guys. Hi guys. I hope you're. Yeah. It's good to be here. It's good to be talk to the people who can hear, who can support, and it's I'm very grateful and thankful for everyone for the opportunity to speak out loud of the horrible things that are happening in Ukraine right now. I'm currently sitting on the floor in a bathroom because it's the safest place right now. If you don't have a bomb shelter in your home, it sounds so surreal to speak about this in modern society, modern democratic world. But unfortunately, we have this reality, and we are Ukrainians are fighting for our freedom. And but yeah, I'm Eugene. I'm from Kiev, Ukraine. I'm a 3D artist working with a variety of brands like Apple, Adidas, Nike, PlayStation, SpaceX, and many more. And I'm pleased to be here and share not only my story, but the story of Ukraine and what we are living through right now. Thank you.
Thank you, Eugene, for this. And we'll get to the point that actually it started earlier, and we've been there already in 2014 when the Revolution of Dignity was happening in Ukraine, and when Ukraine was attacked, because we didn't want so-called president to take his role, because people of Ukraine wanted to go to the European vector of the development, and everyone asked that we don't want this president to be there. And Russian troops attacked Ukrainian territory in 2014 for the first time. And actually, the war and this invasion on two huge cities and regions never stopped within these 8 years. And in 2014, we got support. We were doing like fashion industry, so we'll talk from that angle, and we got the invitation to PTOMO. It was the first kind of international platform who invited and wanted to support Ukrainians, and there was a number of Ukrainian designers presented there. That same year, you want to tell about Anna Winter?
Anna Wintour, I don't know how familiar you are with the world of fashion, but she's the editor-in-chief of American Vogue. So she personally came to celebrate 6 Ukrainian designers in Paris, and that was a major moment for Ukrainian fashion industry. And we were super grateful for the support. Obviously, it helped to promote designers on the world fashion map. And that's exactly why it was a very hard moment, because it's very difficult to do fashion when the war is happening in the country. So we were always between the choice if we should ever communicate some activities in fashion when people are dying on the streets of Kiev. But then we understood that in times like that, it's important to move forward and to show the entire world that there are so many talents in the country, and that's why we're defending this country. And basically, that's what we continue to do, all the showcases of Ukrainian designers and talents. And here is like a pinnacle of that moment when Anna Wintour herself came to meet the Ukrainian designers, and then their career started internationally, so that was quite successful.
Yeah. Yes, I will get next. Basically, yes, Devil Wears Prada is about her, the famous lady. So we started a lot of initiatives, and we understood that we have to keep working. We cannot go take weapons and go to Donetsk, defend the airport. So we keep working. And Fashion for Peace slogan started back then, and I'm wearing the t-shirt from that same collection, Fashion for Peace, created by Ksenia Schneider, Ukrainian designer. Actually, it's a designers duo. She's Ukrainian, her husband is Russian. They both lived in Kiev, and now they had to leave Kiev. Even Russian designer Anton, he also suffered from these attacks, and now they are hiding in western parts of Ukraine. And of course, we always tried to communicate through the creativity. We understand that the positive messages are like good for everyone and can be heard. Maybe, Daria, you also go through these campaigns?
Yeah, this was a very beautiful campaign that we did with one of the Ukrainian top models. Her name is Alla. And I remember this flag is still in my home in Kiev. I am not sure if this home will stay or not. But anyway, yes, so that's the colors of the Ukrainian flag. Now the entire world knows what it looks like. And that's exactly the year when we were showing the collections. And we had a sponsorship from Mercedes-Benz. That's an international car company that sponsored the major fashion weeks around the world. And basically, because of the war and the events that were happening in 2014, they actually declined the sponsorship. And for us, it was kind of a very upsetting thing. So we needed to figure out what we can do. So we basically turned the position of the logo of Mercedes-Benz, which actually looks like peace. So not even like we just put this peace logo, and everyone thought that Mercedes-Benz is still sponsoring the event, which was not. They were not doing that. It's just like the trick we were doing. But that's exactly how you should continue always and figure out some other ideas. And you see this communication of fashion for peace, of how we can support, and that fashion needs to stand out and to be proactive. That's what we always communicated, and we continue that. You see this logo by Mercedes-Benz. So basically, yes, when we did not have Mercedes-Benz, nobody realized that. But besides fashion, Ukraine is a great and big country. It's actually like has 40 million people. That's the way it used to be, at least. And there are so many talents working in different cities in Ukraine. And Asa was filming a great movie, which I'm sure that you will watch after this lecture, that is called Evgeny. And I saw how she was doing that because it was a couple of years ago in San Francisco. That's exactly when I moved. So Asa, you tell.
Yeah, but it's not only you saw it, you participated, you were one of the talent on the screen. So Daria came to San Francisco, and at this very moment we were in progress and in the process of shooting a documentary about a Ukrainian artist whose name is Yevgeny Lapchenko, but we named and called him Levgeny, so we kind of built together with him a character. What was interesting about this story, he was 29 years at that moment, and he got an invitation from San Francisco to come and to live in former Catholic cathedral and to create something like very special piece of art that will be connected with high technologies and still his artistic point of view. So first of all, it was his first time when he left Ukraine. and his first destination was San Francisco, so how lucky he is. He came to this former Catholic cathedral of a name of Saint Guadalupe, and he lived under the bell of the cathedral, so in tiny, tiny rooms. So there was this thing that you need to pull and to make the bell call for all the SF. His idea was to reprint, and what he actually did, to reprint Bosch's very famous painting, The Garden of Earth's Delights. I think that lots of you know how it looks like. It's huge, and actually it is right now in Prada Museum in Madrid. And he made it twice bigger. So it was huge, I don't know, like even the size, the whole wall. And he decided that right now in 21st century again, he will continue to paint all these tiny details and people and items on this canvas, but he will put right now there all the heroes of 21st century. So he included into his painting Elon Musk, of course, Richard Branson, definitely, Google cars, Steve Jobs with iPhone. There were Star Wars and Yoda from the Star Wars, Matrix, Madonna. So all the icons of our world he put on the canvas of Bosch that he made in the middle of 17th century. So it was interesting point of view, kind of a renaissance of a modern art. And he put this painting on the entrance of this Catholic cathedral that actually people in San Francisco turned into a hack temple. So they made a space from this church where people, IT people, can meet and pitch their startups to VC, and they can come to different lectures, and so they can make these meetups inside the cathedral where Lapchenko Evgeny lived and created. We followed his path in the United States for almost 1 year, and it was full of obstacles for him because he didn't have money on some period of time. He didn't meet people who supported art because everybody was about tech, and right now also everybody a lot about tech in San Francisco. So he was trying to find this artistic way, what was pretty hard, and all the time he was comparing in his interviews and in our walks around the city, Kiev and San Francisco, and all the time he came to the idea that no, I can't come back to Ukraine because it's a struggle there, so you need all the time to be in a survival mode. But he didn't know what will happen now. Right now
is there
survival.
Right now.
Yes, right now is a survival mode. Unfortunately, that moment, it was like 2-3 years ago, it was pretty good and it was developing, but still he preferred to stay in California and to find himself as an artist here. But through his past, and he had lots of tiny exhibitions, lots of huge troubles with police, meeting with Richard Branson in Castro Theater in the very heart of San Francisco, different people who supported him and who tried to help him in San Francisco, but in the very end, I don't know, should I spoiler it? Yeah, so, but the very end, so it will be the trailer, but at the very end, he made a choice to come back to his roots, to come back to the country where it's much more difficult to make a statement and to kind of to be free from financial kind of side effect, let's say. But he came back to Ukraine, and actually he met pandemic period there, so it was 1 year ago when he came back, and after it, now he's stuck in Ukraine because it's a war there. So I can't even imagine, the path and the choice that he actually made. So here is the trailer of the movie.
А вы знаете, что такое любовь? А что такое вера? Что для вас значит Родина? И что есть мечта человека? Этими вопросами я задаюсь каждый день всю свою жизнь. И я думаю, что люди в мире также интересуются этими вопросами. Меня зовут Евгений Лапченко, я художник из Украины. Мне хочется подарить вам нарисованную мной картину, да и просто посмотреть в ваши глаза.
Yeah, so that's Asi's film. You can also watch it at some point. Thank you very much for sharing this, and we get to Eugene and his story. He worked with a bunch of companies, and he will share with us his citation path. Please, the stage is yours, Eugene.
Thanks, guys. So where do I start? So I'm actually a trained, or I have a lawyer degree. So I started my life, conscious life, as a lawyer. So I was doing good, I think, and then I realized that this is not my thing at all. So then I switched to some video production stuff with my friend, and then I slowly transitioned to CG world back in 2016. So learning everything from scratch with the YouTube tutorials and doing experimenting a lot. I became a very passionate 3D artist. Then step by step, I started working with a lot of brands, as mentioned earlier, with the Apple, Adidas, Adobe, PlayStation, SpaceX, Sega, and many more. For the past few years, I've been focused on working mostly in digital fashion field, where I met Natalia and Daria, and we became, I think, a good friends, sharing knowledge, sharing contacts, sharing, the community, and sharing a passion to digital fashion, first of all. So right now I'm before the horrible events, I was fully involved in the digital fashion world. I had so many projects. I had so many top-notch dream clients. But the day that everything happened, 3 weeks ago, changed the entire life of millions of people. Not only in Ukraine, but in the entire world. So right now, I'm working as a volunteer, staying here in Ukraine, helping people with my talent, helping people with, first of all, collecting a lot of money from the NFT community, from the entrepreneurs, from the partners, clients, and redirecting those funds to people in need. First of all, people need water, people need food, people need medicine, people need bulletproof vests, and we are coordinating this thing here in Ukraine. People of Ukraine are very strong and very freedom lovers, so they won't leave. So that's why we are, the life is different here right now. I'm personally, I think that everything's gonna be normal, but it's gonna be new normal for the entire world, because we are doing some fundamentally new stuff for the entire world. That's for sure. So this is like a short story of me and where I was before the war and where I am during the war, because every man, every woman, every child is doing his or her job to stay strong together for our freedom. And I encourage you guys to. I'm sure everyone wants to help. I know it because we hear a lot of, signals. We see a lot of signals that people are like reaching out to everyone, like how can we help? How do we do this? We are sitting there and watching this horrible news, and there are a lot of different ways you can participate in this war. So first of all, I think you shouldn't be silent. You shouldn't be passive. You should be active with every day and push all the media, social media, as much as you can to shout out the truth that's happening, the horror that's happening. Because if we will be silent, the aggressor will be succeeded. So don't be silent. If you have spare money, like $10, $100, just donate it to the people in need. Or if you're super active and you're super active in the United States, you can reach out to your senator or write the open letter to Biden and say, hey, close the sky over Ukraine, because this is the most horrible thing, that they are just bombing civilians. The only thing we can end this horror is just to close the sky. So please don't be passive. The only message is keep pushing, and together we'll be victorious. And thank you thanks for everything and everyone, and Slava Ukraine.
Героям слава. Thank you, Eugene. Yeah, please stay with us if you can. We'll get to your art now, so let's take a look. The next person couldn't join us physically or virtually. She is in Ukraine right now. It's a great videographer, Tanya Penida. She's based in Odessa. She's half Cuban, half Ukrainian. And oftentimes she's in LA to actually to direct music videos. And the recent ones with like The Weeknd, Lil Nas X, Katy Perry, Lizzo, Cardi B, Post Malone, Rosalia. She worked with a lot of people. It's just a short list, and it's all the recent works. She always told, I'm living in Odessa, I'm staying here, I love my work, I will come create a video, I love creating, but that's my home. And she created the video that we will see next about all the music videos that have been produced in Ukraine. And it's a big destination for music video and commercial productions. Very popular, yes, and maybe you'll recognize some of them. Let's get into it.
Ukraine, the country beloved by popular brands, directors, production houses, and producers from around the whole world. The place where countless astonishing works have been filmed. For years, these unique commuter areas, monumental bridges, and magnificent squares have served as the stage for outstanding art that millions have enjoyed. Now they suffer from Russian aggression. Now they are brutally bombed by the Russian army. These places need our help. They need the world to return the favor. Don't stay silent. Speak up. Act. Help. Stop the destruction of world heritage. Stop the war.
Yeah, so it's, it's extremely painful. I can't describe like these feelings when you realize that this is streets that you love. This is streets from your childhood. You went to university or to the school by the streets, and these tiny coffee shops and bookshops, I don't know, and gardens and places, and they are destroyed totally, fully, and it's not a set of a movie. Each time when we open in the morning our news, and we have lots of, it's like, and we see, oh my God, again, here, and this building, and here is my grandma, and here is my friend's grandma, and so on and so forth, and each day it's destroying more and more and more, and it's unbelievable. And what is also very, like, interesting and, I don't know, like, magical in this situation, that I never think about myself as a director, that content making is such a tool right now to show, to edit, to express what is happening literally is in real time there. So content help us somehow to win, yes, to have this relief of, we're witnessing, we're showing that, and yes, please help us to win and survive.
Yeah, and to this point, actually, sometimes people say, oh, if during Second World War or like some other horrible event in the past, people could just share what's going on, of course it would be stopped. But we see that everyone is sharing, everyone is telling, we can see what's going on, but it's not stopping. And that's the powerful tool, but we should actually be very sensitive to it as well.
So basically now we want to show you the video of those people who are in Ukraine, and they're all from the creative industries, and that's the topic of our conversation today. And yes, we were able to be present here, and Eugene as well, but some people, they could not tune in, so they actually recorded the short videos, but you can learn more about their stories and understand what's happening currently right now there. Those people are all our friends, so because there are a lot of conversations, what is fake in this war and what is not, and we're showing you something that people are currently experiencing there, and we know those people because all of them are our friends, whom we know very well. And because we lived in Ukraine, all of us, for so many years, like I lived 30 years before I moved, and girls pretty much the same. And basically, some of the people that you will see in this video, they're tremendously famous in Ukraine, and they are artists, singers, or like less famous, but they're contributing as great fashion designers, 3D designers. So basically, yes, we hope that it will also give you an understanding of what exactly is happening there, so you can also pass this information to so many of your friends. And closer to the end, we'll also discuss what exactly everyone can do now in order to help to resolve the situation, stop the war, and yes, do everything you can in this situation.
And yes, a little bit to this introduction that yeah, actually they recorded it specially for the South by Southwest conference, but we also share it with everyone. You are the first to see it. There is a famous singer, she was a winner of like Eurovision contest, or there is a Casca band. If you go now to the South by Southwest schedule and you put Casca, you will see they're supposed to perform here twice. They couldn't come. They couldn't do that, and there's no way for them to get out of there. Or actually not everyone, like most of people don't want to leave Ukraine, and that's also like the problem, because if it will not be stopped, people are staying. They don't want to leave. And yeah, let's just get into it and see. We should start. There are Instagram accounts of it.
Боже милостив, як би нам поскучити. Спуться милості.
Hello world. My name is Alexandra Zaritska. I'm a leader of Ukrainian band called Casca. We are proud to create the most streamed Ukrainian song in the world. This song is about hope, that after the darkest hour the sun will rise. It's called Cry, or in Ukrainian Plakala. My house in Ukraine is a few miles away from that airport that was bombed the hardest, Gostomel. My walls were shaking.
When the war started, it was 24th of February, 5 a.m. I heard very loud noises of rockets hitting down my city, and Me and my family, we were staying in the shelter for 4 days, and then we understood that our city is being destroyed by Zero.
I'm Jamala, Ukrainian singer, songwriter. After the first raid, siren and explosion in Kyiv, running down to the bomb shelters with my kids, I was faced with one of the most difficult decisions in my entire life: to leave my house with my 2 kids.
My name is Nicole, and I'm a fashion CD designer from Ukraine. I live in Kyiv over the 10 years. Before that, I lived in Crimea. Now I'm staying in Kyiv. You can see the mother homeland here. At 5 o'clock in the morning, I woke up from explosions. And I'm very scared. I don't understand what happened. I'm scared every day. I can't do what I love, because every hour I see the signal what I must go to the bomb shelter.
My name is Polina Moroz. I come from Kyiv, Ukraine. I'm an architect by training, and I have worked in the studios in Copenhagen, New York, and Paris. For the past 3 years, I have been pursuing my dream of showing Ukraine different from stereotypes through my artistic practice. I have been creating collectible design objects with the production entirely based in Ukraine. Since the start of the war, the studio I worked with has been bombed. People have fled the city. Right now, I'm spending my days in safety, reflecting on the ongoing war through painting and trying to figure out how to adjust my life to these new realities.
My name is Tanya Penida. I'm 3D designer at DressX. I have been working in the company about 2 years. Occupiers try to take from us our freedom to work, to live, to create. I live when I create, and taking this possibility kills. This attack also literally kills people, and taking not just creative lives, but literally making people die.
Hi, I'm Neche. I'm 20 years old. I am a digital and physical fashion designer based in Kharkiv, Ukraine. And that was where I was when we got the first, we had the first attack.
My name is Irina Rosenfeld. I'm a singer, songwriter, and musician. I was evacuated from Kyiv 10 days after the war has started. I saw with my own eyes how innocent civilians suffer. An apartment building 5 minutes drive from my home was bombed. And this is the small part of what's going on over there right now.
Hi everyone, my name is Denis Sadu and I'm Kyiv-based trumpet player, educator, composer, band leader. Right now I'm in Lviv in bomb shelter. Here's a bomb shelter. Here in Lviv I'm working as a volunteer almost every day. We uploading and downloading some humanitarian from EU.
Hello world, my name is Nikita Budash. I'm a member of Kaska band. We cannot create, we cannot live our normal life because of the war. At night we sleep in the bomb shelters. During the day we trying to help our army. This is our schedule nowadays. I need to say that this invasion has to be stopped. And your voice, people, your voice is very important.
They bomb the civilian population. They kill children, launched rockets into children's hospitals, residential buildings, and even churches where they pray to God.
Oh, hi. My name is Stanislav, or Stan. I'm a multidisciplinary artist and designer from Ukraine. I am working with a lot of brands and artists, for example, like Arca and Drop Dead. I accomplish a lot, but it's don't matter now. I live in Odessa, I'm staying in Ukraine, and I do all what I can to help and support my people of my nation. I donate, I attract international investments, I looking for rare medicines, and most important, I support and motivate people of my nation to stay strong, to not break in these hard times.
Всем привет, меня зовут Людмила, я 3D-дизайнер. После того, как на нас напала Россия, обстреляла города, убила мирных жителей, мы с маленьким сыном, которому 3 года, были вынуждены бежать, идти пешком 6 километров на границу с Польшей, стоять в очереди 4,5 часа.
My name is Yuri Isnachenko. I'm a film editor. In the last 15 years I did around 40 music videos, maybe more than 700 commercials, and a few feature films, one of which I was in the middle of doing when the shit hit the fan on 24th. How did it affect my work? There's no work anymore. We do some things to cover the events. We translate news for embassies and for Western media outlets, but who would shoot commercials or movies when we're in a war?
Ukraine is not just protecting his own land, but the entire world from the darkness. Please don't be silent. Use your voice. This is the war against all of us, all over the world.
And what I want to say to the world, don't repeat mistakes of the past. Putin equal Hitler, he makes genocide, he don't stop on us. We protect you now, free world, we fight for civilization, we fight for humanity, and we need your help desperately.
I'm one of the women of Ukraine who would like to address you on behalf of my nation. Each of you has a strong voice. Here in USA, your voice can strengthen our cry for the truth about the ruthless Russian tyranny. Please stop this bloody genocide that has already come to Europe.
I just want to say to the creatives in Ukraine, from Ukraine, around the world, I just want to applaud your resilience, and I want to plead you to keep creating and keep making your voices heard. And to the world, I would ask for your support for the people of Ukraine and for creatives coming out from Ukraine. That's all I have to say. Thank you so much for your time.
It's for all these people and for a lot of others who could not join, who could not record. They are really under circumstances when they even cannot record the video, literally. And it's very hard, and you heard some of people in this video. Nicole, she mentioned she's from Crimea. Actually, Jamala, she as well, and myself also from Crimea. In 2014, I felt like someone took my home because Crimea was annexed. And I believe that Crimea is Ukraine, and I was going there like almost every year, even since then, even through all the circumstances, and it's so hard to go there through all these obstacles, yes. But we don't want to scale it on the whole country, and it's too many people, and it should be stopped, and it's very, very aggressive. So what can be done? We are here to address this, and please, first of all, thank you a lot once again that you are here. But also, we understand that you will leave this room, and please share this information. Please share what you learned about these people and about what can be done, because every day it's like, on average, it's like 5 kids killed, and its number is growing, and we understand that every hour matters, not every day, every hour matters. So what can be done? Here, please call your senator, call your congressman, write a letter to the White House. Yes, please take a picture as well and share it, because that's really very, very important. Please donate, and we know already a lot of people who donated, and we know that people just do it silently, but what is important that it helps a lot, but until it's stopped, we should continue that. Yes, and your support should continue, and everyone is grateful for each donation, but until it's stopped, it should be continued like that. Another thing is, please hire people from Ukraine. A lot of people now evacuated from eastern part of country to western part of country, where they are more safe, not completely safe, but more safe, and they still can do something. And our power that we don't give up, and we keep working, because of course not everyone goes to fight, and actually not everyone is even accepted to the army. You have to be trained. So people work. So please hire Ukrainians when you can.
We have a great, huge supply of people who working like on a distance, because even during like this year's working in San Francisco, a lot of editors, color correction, sound mixing, composers, they're all in Ukraine, and we made a bunch of projects on a distance.
Yes, it's a lot of value being created in Ukraine. You have seen these videos and amazing art and amazing fashion. A lot of value is created. So people work, people earn money. It's not like just asking to give something for free, but people ready to work, and they keep doing that. A lot of tech talents, etc. And of course, educate yourself, spread the word, and use your voice. This is very, very important. We wanted to share also like great practices. This Time magazine cover.
We're doing a march right now in front of the opera in Lviv, and we have hundreds of people around the image that are carrying the little girl. It's our second location. And we're shooting it from the drone, so the truth is from down there you can't see much, but from up there you see everything.
So this is a Time magazine cover that was
made yesterday.
Yes, was published today, but only 2 days ago they created this artwork, and this is this is fast reaction, and we urge governments to also react fast, and they will do it if they listen to their people, if they know that it's important to the population of the country that they are ruling. Here are the initiatives to support that we started. It's Support Ukraine collection. It was already worn by Madonna and other influencers. So you can scan this QR code and get there. We just added a bunch of other different digital fashion outfits. And it's also an easy way to donate. If you don't wear dresses, for example, you can still buy one and just don't upload your picture, but all these proceeds we'll use to send to Ukraine.
And actually, it's important to say it's not a physical items, because as you remember, I mentioned that DressX is a fashion tech company. So basically, it's easy tool to express your voice and to say that I disagree with what happens in Ukraine visually, and at the same time to donate through us, because we redistribute the funds to 3D designers, to various other funds, but we actually report everything and If you scan the QR code, you will get more information on that. And the next slide is about the DressX app, where you can also use all of those same items and share on various social media with the items that we created in the colors of Ukrainian flag. And kind of lots of people wanted to share something, but they didn't know what exactly they wanted to share, so we helped them with this visual tool via DressX as well. And on the March 24th, and it's the first time that we're announcing it here, we're launching a special Fashion for Peace NFT drop at nft.dressx.com, and that's various international artists who contributed their works. And DressX, it's all about fashion, about wearables, and it will be possible to purchase those items, and the proceeds will also go to support either the Ministry of Defense or 3D artists and creative communities, especially important to us. And we think at this time it's really important when international community of creatives unite and help those communities who are in need. Today is Ukraine, tomorrow it will be another country, because if we don't stop Russia, Russia never stops, and it will just go further, unfortunately. And that's what we can see. It's hard to believe in that, but nobody would believe that something like that would happen in Europe, in the heart of Europe. So this is something that you can do to support creative communities, and there are so many other initiatives that are happening right now. But what's important to understand, literally every dollar helps now and can save lives of different people.
And one more question, actually. Raise your hand if you met a president of your country ever in person. Wow, yeah. Cool. That's a lot of people. Great. But yeah, so we were lucky to meet him a few months ago, actually in August, right after the Independence Day of Ukraine, when it was the 30th independence. And the interesting thing that he's a creative community person as well. He's like an actor. Right, and he actually represents what all people of Ukraine think, and not only in Ukraine. And yeah, we'll share here his speech, which he gave to the Congress yesterday, addressing politicians. But everything is relevant to address from creative community to creative community, and yes, we hope it will also be useful, moving. Yes.
And in the end, to sum it up, today it's not enough to be the leader of the nation. Today it takes to be the leader of the world. Being the leader of the world means to be the leader of peace. Peace in your country doesn't depend anymore only on you and your people. It depends on those next to you, on those who are strong. Strong doesn't mean big. Strong is brave and ready to fight for the life of his citizens and citizens of the world, for human rights, for freedom, for the right to live decently and to die when your time comes, and not when it's wanted by someone else, by your neighbor. Today, the Ukrainian people are defending not only Ukraine, we are fighting for the values of Europe and the world, sacrificing our lives in the name of the future. That's why today the American people are helping not just Ukraine, but Europe and the world to keep the planet alive, to keep justice in history. Now I'm almost 45 years old. Today my age stopped when the hearts of more than 100 children stopped beating. I see no sense in life if it cannot stop the death. And this is my main mission as the leader of my people, great Ukrainians. And as the leader of my nation, I am addressing the President Biden. You are the leader of the nation. of your great nation. I wish you to be the leader of the world. Being the leader of the world means to be the leader of peace. Thank you. Slava Ukraini.
So we encourage all of you to be leaders of peace, not only the president. And we didn't want to make it a political event, and it's not. Again, we put this part here because we really believe it's like representation of, still representation of creative community of Ukraine. This is what it's all about. And yeah, I'll try to switch to the next one, but I think...
Maybe it's important to mention, yes, that President Zelensky, he was an actor, a very famous actor in Ukraine before becoming the president.
In Russia, what is interesting.
And in Russia as well, yes. So many people in Russia know them really well because he was playing in the movies and etc. So that's why we show him not only as the president, but actually as the person from the creative background.
But also what we find very interesting, why he's kind of representing people of Ukraine, he mentioned his age, like it's, yeah, median age of a person on a planet Earth. So we believe he represents not only people in Ukraine, but people on the planet Earth speaking this voice. Yes, to end this, we just want to ask you to live in this room, not forget about it, and ask yourself every day, what did I do today to stop this war? And this is kind of a practice that we also implement because we understand we still have to work. It's very hard to focus and do something, but we do it. And we understand that this is what we have to do. But also asking yourself every day, what did I do to stop this war? It's very important, and I hope there will be a lot of days ahead when we have to ask this question ourselves.
Yeah, thank you so much. And what I want to say, Al, that each of us have very personal stories about like what is happening with our families, and for example, like listening to the messages of our friends who are saying us good night, and they're not sure if they will wake up, and they're saying something kind of, you know, thank you for your support. You were always the best person, and it's cool that in these circumstances in the bomb shelter I still receive your messages. But if I will not respond in the morning, just know that I love you. And I can say that I received something about like 10 messages during the last 10 days again from the people who just trying to leave something. Can you imagine? So they go asleep, and they just want to share their kind of last thoughts, last wishes. It's a huge pain. And yeah, we're trying to move all the people who are fortunately not connecting with these such circumstances in person. But to be inside the story is a big drama. And I'm so proud of Ukrainian people right now. I never saw them so united, so focused, so concentrated on what they really want. And they just want to be free, happy, creative, and I'm sure that will win.
For sure. Thank you so much, and please help us to win. And definitely there are a lot of things that can be done. And yes, Eugene, maybe you will finish.
Final note.
Thanks again, everyone. It was so inspiring to hear all the truth that you guys are sharing. It's definitely amazing that we are not silenced. Again, we'll repeat this again and again and again, and you'll be bored about this because we won't be silent. You can't stop Ukrainians anymore. You know, we are a new nation now. It's a fun fact, you know, that yes, it's birth of a new nation. So, and so the fun fact is, no one knew where Ukraine was right before this war, and now every people on this earth know every district of Kiev, of Kharkiv, of Mariupol, and every city. So this is very important, that we became a center of all the information, and we will not stop, and we stand for Ukraine. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Jen. Yeah, so we say that everyone who is sane, who knows the value of freedom is Ukrainian. So like everyone is Ukrainian in the world right now. Please keep being a Ukrainian in this sense.
And human beings.
Human beings, of course, that's exactly the same. And thank you. And I think we have to say Slava Ukraini.
Slava Ukraini.
Героям слава.
Україні.